Good day, grade 9. So today we are starting on, we are continuing with question number 9. We looked at just a recap of yesterday's work. We looked at number 8, and also we were asked to solve square roots and cube roots without the use of a calculator. Now your first step was to do prime factorization, or prime factorization is namely one of the ways how we can do it. Alright, so I want you guys now to follow with me as we continue to question number 9. I want you to write as I'm writing. So what I would do if I was a learner in a class right now, I would start and firstly just draw a line to indicate that this was yesterday's work. So I would take my ruler, alright, I would take my ruler right there and then make it nice and neat, and then I would draw my line. Okay, so that is supposed to be my line there, and then this is not a part of that work. Alright, so then here was your homework. We're going to look at this now. I'm just going to shift this a little bit up so that it's not in your way right here. Okay, so in the light of, so I drew my line now I'm starting, and we are busy with, who can tell me what we are busy with? We are still busy with numbers. Okay, the next one is going to be number 10, is we're going to start with calculation. So what I want of you guys, or what I expect, the expectation is the following. Alright, let me just see if I can turn this, no man, what are you doing? If I can turn this to black or blue, let's make it dark blue. Excuse me. Right, so now I would start and I would write numbers as my heading, numbers, and then today's date is almost the 14th, but it's not the 14th, so it's one before 14th. So that means it's the 13th of February, and I want you, or I expect you guys to write the date every day. Alright, and then you take your ruler once again. You take your ruler once again, and then you underline like that, and then we're going to start in question number. So we're starting at numbers, and who wants to read me the question at number 9? Anyone please read the question. You are right here in front of me, so you can read the question. Read loud and clear so that everyone can hear. Yes, read the question. Yes, you. Determine the values of the following without the use of the calculator, and then they give us at question number 9.1 is 625. Alright, so I write there 9.1 is square root of 625. Alright, so my first step here would be to prime factorize. So there's a lot of ways how you can prime factorize. We can use our ladder method. Okay, so our ladder method would be, we're going to say 625. What is the number that can go into this? 5. So 5 can go into this. So 6 can go into 1. 6 going, there's a 1. The remaining 6 goes into 12 2 times, and then there's a 5. So it's 125. Why does this sound familiar? Alright, so because I did it. Alright, so this is good revision. Alright, so then it's 5 again, and then this will probably be 25, and then it's 5, and then it's 5, and then I have 1 there, 5 there. Alright, so this, on this hand side, I have my prime factors. So what I'm going to do, I prime factorize now. This calculations I do on the right hand side, and now I write in my number, which is 5 to the power of 4. Okay, now I should also remember, make note that there's actually an invisible 2 right there if it's a square root. Okay, so I want to get rid of the square root because they ask me to simplify, and once I get rid of a square root, I'm simply saying it is this power divided by the exponent divided by my power outside. Okay, so that means 5 to the power of 4 divided by 2, and then I'm going to say 5 to the power of 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, so that means 25. Alright, so if I want to check my answer in a calculator, I should say the square of 25. 25 square is equal to 625. I should end up with what I started with. Okay, so that's question number 9.1. Let's look at question number 9.2. So 9.2 is the following, and 9.2 says square root of negative 64. cube root, sorry. Cube root of negative 64, so thank you. I did say that my mind works a lot faster than my mouth, so I might say stuff in advance while I forget to say the other stuff. Alright, so thank you for helping me out on that. Alright, so what we're going to do, we are going to square, what is my first step? Prime factorization. Alright, so I'm going to prime factorize. If I prime factorize 64, my answer will be? Yes, well done. That is negative 2 to the power of 6. Okay? And now I'm going to say it's 3 square root negative 2, not cube root. Alright, negative. And now 6. Alright, 6. So in this step I should actually say it's negative 2, 6 to the power of 6 divided by 3. And then my answer is going to be negative 2 to the power of 2. And that will be negative 4. Alright, now that is my answer. How can I check my answer? I can check my answer by doing the following. I can go to my calculator. Alright, they ask me to do this without a calculator. However, you can go check your answers. Only check, but I need to see the calculations. Alright, so negative 4 times with negative 4 times with negative 4 is equal to negative 64. Alright, so that is my square root. And you can check on the other way as well. And then the other way is to do the shift, and then we have the cube root, and then we say negative 64, and then my answer will be negative 4 as well. Okay, so please write it out, not in prime factors, but as simplified as that. Okay. Alright, grade 9, although I said we can, so I'm just going to show you how to check. This answer is supposed to be determined without the calculator. Alright, so this is just nice for you to check. All you do, try to follow my steps and pay attention. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look, I first type in the shift. Okay, so the shift allows me to go to the button on top. You will see there's a written, and that's why you should take care of your calculators and everything, your stationery, because some of you I see you don't have the letters anymore. Okay, so try to remember that. So it's the second button, so that will be 1, 2 in the third row, the second button. But once you press shift and then it's that button, then you will see there's a cube root, and then you type in, this is the negative button, so negative 64 is that one right there. Then you will also see that on this calculator you are supposed to, if I want the fifth root of something. Okay, so let's see the fifth root of, that means let's use, alright, I'm going to check the 64. Alright, so 64 to the power of 6. I can do this on the calculator. All you should do, you should learn your calculator. Alright, talk to her. Say, what do you like? What do you want? Should I type you and then you give me answers? Get to know your calculator. Alright? All of your calculators, it can be your greatest friend or your biggest enemy, but you decide. So you need to handle it with respect. So what I'm saying is, like for example, we can check the 64 as well. 64 to the power of 6, or is it to the power of 5? 64 to the power of 5. Alright, so I'm going to type in here. So that means, you see here is a sign. Now I'm going to type that sign. Now you see there's a block there. So that means I'm going to type a 6 there, and then I go to my next one, and then I type in there 64, and this is going to be, my answer is supposed to be 2. Okay? So you will see there's a sign like that, and it indicates 2 blocks in the, so that is actually the 6th root. In Afrikaans we would call it the 6de magswortel. Okay? Alright, so there is ways of doing this or checking on your calculator. What happened to my pen now? I can't lose her. Alright, so let's continue. Question number 9.3. 9.3, Alright, so what you are supposed to do here, what is the question? The question says it's 9.3 and it looks as follows. It's 1 and 9 over 16. First thing I have to do, Keisha, is I have to say I need to convert the improper fraction to, I need to convert the mixed fraction to a improper fraction. And how do I do that? Listen and pay attention. Everyone's eyes on the board, please, because you are going to ask me this. Alright, so what do? I write down square root and then I say it's 16 times 1 plus the 9. Alright, so it's actually, so I'm going to write it out. You don't have to write it out. If you can do it, you can go straight to the answer. So I'm going to say 16 times 1, alright, plus 9 over the denominator stays the same. So that is 16 plus 9, which equals to 25. So 25 over 16. Now my next step from here, I can prime factorize, and once I prime factorize from here, that will be 5 to the power of 2, 4 to the power of 2. Okay, you are with me up until there? And then, so this is where I have prime factorized, and because I'm doing a square root, I can just say that means it's going to be outside 5 over 4. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right there. And now we're going to question number 9. So what laws am I using here? The laws is, it looks like this. Remember, it's derivative from this law. So make a note for yourself. So write the note and make it colorful. So note the laws looks as follow. If I have, for example, A over B, it can be written as, I can take the top part over the bottom like that. All right. So make that nice and colorful. Make use of color pencils and just put a note there for yourself so that if you are studying, you know the law of this as well. Okay, so next one is question number 9.4. And number 9.4 is the following. They ask us at question number 9.4. The square root of 9 plus 16, it's both under the square root, and first thing I should do, I should add the terms first and then find the square root. It is incorrect to square the root of the individual terms. Alright, so remember that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first add underneath the square root, so that means 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. Now I can prime factorize 25, and then I'm going to get, you can go to the answer straight, okay? It's not necessary for you to write 5 to the power of 2 underneath the square root. You can just go, but if I'm not sure about myself, so I would go this way, and then my answer is going to be 5. Alright, so at question number 9.5, 9.5 is a what kind of fraction? And in the square root, what do we have? A decimal fraction. Okay? So we can do a conversion quickly of a decimal fraction. If we do a conversion, so this is going to be 0.09. I don't know if every one of you know how to do a conversion of a decimal to a to a proper fraction, all right, or to a normal fraction. So what you have to do is, my short method, my cheat code to myself is, the decimal systems consist of the binary system. So the binary system means it consists of ones and zeros. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm counting from the comma, I'm counting 1, 2. Alright, so that is the indication of how many zeros I will have. So if I do a conversion, I'm going to write 2 zeros, I put a 1 in front, and then I start with this number. So that means 9 over 100. Okay, if it was 0.09, if it was 0.009, and then it would have been 3 zeros, a 1 in front, and then that is how I do the conversion. Okay, so now I've converted this, so I'm going to say it's like that. Now I'm going to prime factorize quickly. So if I prime factorize, it's probably going to be 3 to the power of 2 times what Yes. What is 100? 5 to the power of 2 times with? 5 to the power of 2. It's 10 to the power of 2, but times. Alright, so it's 5 to the power of 2 times with 2 to the power of 2. Okay? 2 to the power of 2, and that is still under a square root. So if I want to simplify this, all the exponents is 2's. So that can help me. And what I'm only going to write down the bases. So it's 3 over 5 times 2, which equals to 3 over 5 times 2 is equal to, well done, 10. Okay? So that's 3 over 10. And if you type in 3 over 10, you will get 0,3. Alright, so your answer, if they don't ask you for the right in decimal, it's not necessary for this. I will accept this. However, if you are asked to write in decimal, all you have to do is that. Okay, 0,3. So I'm just showing you that. Okay, now question number 9.6. Number 9.6 is the same or similar to this one. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that on your own. Try to do this. So it's going to be 4th root of 0,0016. Okay. How do I do this? Anyone wants to help me? What is first? What did I do here? Let's write in the steps here. What did I do? Convert. So I first converted. Okay, I convert, and then what did I do after the conversion? I prime factorized. Okay, prime factorized. No? Prime factorize, and then I simplified. I always simplify. That's why we come to maths class, to simplify our lives. Alright, so now we say 9.6 is going to be, alright, so if I were to, now I'm going to go with my steps again. So count with me, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many zeros does that mean? 4. So I write down 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. And then what in front? A 1. And then 16 on top. Okay? What am I supposed to do now in my next step? Factorize, prime factorize. Okay? So 16, you can prime factorize that. So it will be 16 is 2 to the power of 4. So it's 2 to the power of 4. And then what is this? 10,000? 10,000 will probably be, what is 10,000? It will be 10 to the power of 4. Alright, but 10 to the power of 4. So you can write it as 10 to the power of 4. However, 10 is not a prime factor. So it's, alright, so it's going to be 2 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 4. Everyone with me on that? Remember, you can use this method as well. You can type in 16 over 10,000. Okay, but they do ask you to not use a calculator. So alright, it's not going to work like this. Alright, so you should do the individual numbers. So you should say 16 shift, and then you say factorize, then you get 2 to the power of 4, and then you get 10,000. 1, 2, 3, that's 1,000. 10,000 is equals shift and then factorized, and then we get that answer. Okay, so now I'm going to simplify. I'm going to get rid of the square of the, what is this? There's a 4 there. Just remember to write it 4 each time. Don't be lazy like me. So that means I am going to do that quickly. So I'm going to say square. So all the 4's will cancel out. It's 2 over 2 times 5. And then that will be also 2 over 10. And if I were to write this as it's 0,2. Okay. How can we check our answer without the use of a calculator? We go back how many times? 4 times. Okay. So we should say the following. We should say 0,2 times 0,2 times 0,2 times 0,2 is supposed to give me back to this, or back to 0,0116. Let's check that. 0,2, alright, to the power of 4, it's, yeah, alright, let's see if I can do, that is the correct answer. Alright, I thank you, grade 9. I ask you to continue with the rest of the work now.